and welcome back to Copper Guardians, and we are about to get underway once again. For those of you new, this is a D&D campaign played online, as obviously you can see. We play it by use of Roll20 and our imagination. So if you're unfamiliar with the game, ask questions in chat. We'll respond in the chat. We won't be able to respond verbally, but we will respond that way. So just to get everybody kind of in sync with what's going on. All right. With that, let's get underway, shall we? So last time, this group of people who were called together to accompany Islude to try and track down a possible issue that has been revealed by oracles of a coming calamity or catastrophe, and they were headed out to a place well known to our other campaign, Veilguard, and on their way there they were attacked in the ship they were in, and the airship had to land to go for repairs at a place called Malakboten. That city is a walled city in the south. While there, they noticed that the problems were commencing with the military being activated, taxes going up, all sorts of crazy things going on. And through it, they came to understand that, specifically, I should say, Caden came to understand that the wizards that are in Tepe, geez, I had it in my head. Now it's gone. Why is it gone? I don't know.
Tepe Kaliseh.
Tepe Kaliseh, thank you, have been causing trouble and seem to be preparing for war. So in order to deal with them, the government of Malakboten sent, or hasn't sent them, but has been creating a military to go and deal with this problem. Caden, on the advice with his own order, made the decision that he needs to go check it out and find out what's going on. And as he decided to do that, the group all agreed to accompany him. And so thus they are just beginning to make their way out of the city and on the road to Tepe Kaliseh, which is off to the west. All right. So with that, everybody, there we are. So
thank you for the recap.
Yeah, well, I figured I better, because otherwise it could get a little tricksy. So are we traveling? Did I give you horses? I don't remember. Or did you get horses? Or, a wagon? I can't remember now.
It's been a few sleeps.
Yeah. I think you had a wagon.
I think we were deciding between whether we were going to go on foot or wait for the ship to be repaired and take the ship.
Yeah, I think you guys decided against the ship. I think it was
Okay.
because you figured you could get there and back before the ship would be repaired.
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly, was the decision, because you were told it was
Sounds
about a
familiar.
5-day journey. So, and I think you were told it'd be 2 weeks for the ship to be fully stocked, and more to the point, have enough crew.
How much would horses be, and or a wagon?
Now, if I remember correctly, horses were $50. Yeah, $50. 50 gold each.
What's a dollar?
Yeah, what's a dollar? And a wagon would be probably inexpensive relative to that, like 10 gold. Just because they're not like a horse. You don't have to upkeep them. You don't have all the additional issues that they can have. It's a wagon at the end of the day. So just a regular...
So we should get Sakara to ride the horse and I'll sit in the wagon.
Or you could have the horse, tied up to the wagon, or you could buy 2 horses.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But why would you have Sakara riding on the horse? That's what I'm wondering.
To direct it. Not Victorian era. He's not going to sit on the back of it, is he, with a whip?
No, but you can have leads. There are leads. It's a fantasy realm. It works the same as it did in the medieval era.
I think she means have me drive the wagon.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. The way I thought you were saying is you'd ride the horse while you sat in the wagon. And I was like, How would that work?
I understand why my wedding confused you.
Yes.
Because you're John.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway.
Suffer from a severe case of Johnitis.
I didn't want to say drive the wagon because drive isn't, I imagine, a car.
No.
You don't
Well, yeah,
drive a
you
wagon,
imagine
do
a
you?
car, but it is actually what you call leading horses on a wagon. You
Yeah.
drive the wagon. I've heard it called that before.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway.
Is that what we're doing? Are we buying a wagon and like a wagon and horses?
I mean, I can chip in for. I'll buy the wagon and I can chip in for the horses, but I don't think I have enough to buy 2 horses and the wagon.
How much do I need? Are we all together again now, by the way? Is Caden with us or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to be
I'm
because
the one that wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
you
to be
get
completely honest with you, I don't really remember.
Well, you basically Caden split off from you guys for a while. That's when
Yeah, I
he
remember
found
that
out the
part.
information while you were finding out about the tax issues and such. He was the one finding out about the army and the location of this problem. And then came back to you all specifically to Islud.
We met him at the library, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wanted Islud's permission to go because he didn't want to go because as he said, his quest was with Islud first and foremost. So
Right.
So that's kind of how we got to where we are. So you're now preparing to leave the city, I guess, is what I'm saying now. Together.
So, how much money does everybody have then? And how much will it cost in total for 2 horses and a wagon?
110 gold.
How much We don't have enough, I don't think. How much does everybody have?
I have
I can put 40 towards it since this is my idea. My side quest.
Avalos, sorry?
I can also give 40.
Okay.
I'll give the other 30.
Oh, okay, sorted. Because I have a small problem where I didn't update my gold for all of this. So I don't know how much I have.
I'm in the same boat.
I forgot how to do it until just now.
Okay.
I will. Would you get the wagon? Would the wagon like the person where you would purchase the wagon be near the stables?
Oh yeah. You can get it from a similar location. I don't think wouldn't make sense to have like the wagon keeper. I don't know what you call them. There's a name for them, but I don't remember what it is. Like a carter or something. Wouldn't make any sense to have them way far away.
Whether it works or not, I'm going to try to see. Me being me, I'm going to see if I can't get a discount on these horses. The wagon, I'm not too concerned with.
Okay, so you're going to talk to the stable to find out.
I'll buy the wagon regardless. That's only 10 gold, you said?
To the stable.
Yep.
Hello,
No, he's
stable.
going to talk to the stable master specifically.
Yeah.
I assume. So when you arrive at the stables, these stables are pretty big. Not going to lie. You would have seen similar ones in the bigger cities in the east. But this particular one is larger than you thought it would be. Even for a city this size, it's quite large. The looks, I guess, what I would say is about 200 horses are there, and the stable master is shouting orders to the group that he's kind of moving them around, trying to get them to do a few things. And when you walk up, this tan human who's probably about 50 years old with gray hair looks back at you and says, "You're large. How can I help you?"
And in charge.
Good day, sir. We purchased a wagon, and now I need to purchase 2 horses to pull it.
Right.
I was kind of hoping that we could maybe work out some sort of deal on the price.
I mean, normally I'd say you're probably okay because, but with the war effort and everything, we've high demand. That's the reason why they're 50 gold. Normally they're more like 30. I'm going to be honest with you, but roll me a what would be the best charisma check? Maybe. Let's see
It'd
if
be
you,
persuasion,
Persuasion.
probably.
or persuasion. Yeah,
It's not gonna go well, but sure.
give it a try. Ooh, a 9. I mean, he looks at you and he
Ooh, a
says,
9.
"Look, you know, I wouldn't mind giving you a deal, but like I said, I can't give you much of a one, not with the way they're going right now, and the army is seizing everything we've got. If we're not careful, they'll run us out. So here's what look, here's what I can do for you. I can cut 3 gold off each horse. How about that?
Deal.
Okay.
So do we hear this conversation, John?
I mean, if you accompanied Sakara, which I assume you must have, then yes.
So behind his back, within eyesight, within 30 feet, I cast suggestion on
Okay.
the stable master.
All right.
Anything to save a few bucks, jeez.
So, okay,
So
so
you put it in the chat for you.
Oh,
He needs
15,
to
thank
make
you.
a-
the
Yep.
wisdom saving throw. Okay. We'll give him that. Sure. Since I don't have there we go. All right.
So since he fails, all I will say is, are you sure we can't strike up anything less? Nothing too crazy. I understand you need a profit.
All right. How about this? Okay. Just for you, pretty lady. Are you a lady?
Who?
I'm now
No.
forgetting. No, you're
No.
not.
No.
He looks over at that I made a mistake. Sorry, it's because I keep forgetting that character changed on me and my brain's still where it was. So he says, okay, just for you. He is going to say my sweet, nonetheless. Okay, 5 gold off each, 45 per. How's that? That's as much as you're
That's
going to
where
get.
Ophelia comes over and just zips her top down. She's like, "Are you sure we can't do anything better?"
No.
Yes, that'll be fine. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
He smiles and says, "You're welcome. Thank you for doing business with us. If you bring the horses back and they're still in good shape, I might be able to give you 10 gold back apiece. How's that?"
How much
Plus
did we pay for them originally?
45.
We're paying
Well,
45.
Why would we return them for less than what we bought them for? We'll just keep the horses and get the money's worth out of them by
Just-
utilizing them.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. He's just giving you a suggestion.
Well, I'm ignoring that suggestion.
That's
It's
that's
like buying,
fair.
it's like
there-
buying something
All
and
right.
returning it. when
There's
it's
no
good.
So-
guarantee they'll survive anyway, so you know.
So essentially, with that, Islud can pay 35 instead of 40. Caden can.
I should have looked at your
Where did
picture
this come
before I
out
said
to
that.
be?
Dum dum. What would it come out to be? Well, it's 90 for the 2 horses now instead of 100. So, and then, so basically it's a flat 100 then in total. So if you're giving 40 and
30, 35, 35, 30.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will mark that off.
Caden will wave his hand when you try to give it to him. He'll say, "You're the one that negotiated lower price. You should keep it."
I mean, I'll just give it to Islud then, because Islud's the one who technically negotiated the lower price.
I will take it and put it into a different pouch. What is it? It's 10 gold.
Well, it'd be your 5 and Caden's 5.
So 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10.
Everybody fighting over money. Put it in my bag.
No. Okay, then. No.
So
Yeah,
by the way, just for the sake of simplicity for the moment, Ofelia and Akiko, you both have 20 gold, we'll say for the moment. Maybe we'll say 50 gold, so then you're up where the others are. So then you have something you can use. I don't know where you should be. I'm just giving a round number at this point.
Thank you.
So you're not broke. Because I cannot
right.
remember how much you're supposed to have.
We hook up the horses.
Okay.
How big's this wagon? Like, can everybody fit in it?
Well, if 2 people are sitting up front, you should have enough room for 3 to sit in the back quite easily. Yeah. I mean, think of it as like kind of like a covered wagon sort of thing, sort of like the Old West kind of idea.
Okay. Even with me being as big as I am, somebody could sit up front with me.
Yeah,
If not,
I mean,
2 people. I can walk beside the wagon. I'm sure the wagon's not going to be able to go really fast. So.
well, I don't think you're so heavy that you couldn't sit up there.
It's less being heavy, more just being
Bulk.
large and having space.
I mean,
So.
there are people that are not as, not so dense that they take up too much room. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
Because, Ofelia is not very large. I don't know how to describe this. Akiko kind of similarly. So that's 2 people I can think of. I don't know what Islud and Caden consider themselves to be like, but that's kind of my image of the other 2. Unless they feel it's different. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Well, Zakara will look at the group and say, I'll drive the wagon if that's what people want. I don't have much experience driving wagons. I usually just walk everywhere. I don't know if people are better at it than I am.
I too don't
Animal handling
recall.
would be the thing to look at if you're wondering, for those who might be questioning that.
Yeah, I don't recall being able to do so.
I've never done it before. Sometimes animals like me, but not always. I am not proficient in animal handling out of character, and I only have a +3. But I don't know if that's the highest. I'm a wisdom base, so.
I'm a +2.
Y'all are higher than me so far.
Are you a negative?
No, I'm a +1.
Okay then.
Mine's at a 3.
Okay, so the only one we don't know is Ofelia.
What do you want to know?
Your animal handling.
Animal handling.
Oh, right. I was listening to the conversation, but I didn't hear the part about what you actually asked.
It's also 3 as well.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So, rollies. I mean, you can pick who you want to drive the thing, but 3 of you are at 3, so I'm sure that'll be okay. Right?
Caden will say, I can drive if you wish, but I would prefer to be able to sketch maps as we go.
Well,
Do what you want. Zakara, you drive.
okay.
Wait, what's your animal handling again?
Less than
2.
yours.
Oh,
One.
I'll drive.
1.
Yeah,
For one,
I was
yeah.
going to suggest, how about Ophelia, you drive, and perhaps you could teach me while we travel.
Good idea. We'll sit on the front. You guys can sit inside.
Okay. All right. Ofelia, roll me an animal handling check, please.
Can I assist her?
Wow.
Never mind.
Doesn't need it. it's
We're like
like,
Tokyo
guys.
drifting through the woods.
yeah, I was like,
Zakara, let's do this.
yeah, just let Ofelia handle it. She got
I'm
it.
just gonna go by. It's like one of those movies where the steam's blowing on the person and their hair's all flowing through the wind and they're just driving along like no problems. Good to go, guys. Don't worry about me.
Everybody in the back wondering, how did she learn that so quick? Yeah,
Nobody knows about my past.
it's true, very much. Sometimes not even me. As we learned in Rock of Cairbryn last week. All
To be
right.
fair, with Ophelia, I actually give you a much more detailed backstory.
Mm-hmm. So,
If you haven't read it, it's your fault.
no, I have read it. I always read them. Don't you mouth me. sass me, not mouth me. That sounded odd.
That does sound very
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so with that, you guys head out. How best to do this? You start out the day leading these creatures to the west towards the mountains. It's not like you can't see them. Anybody good with tracking or have any proficiencies that might?
Well, I can't do both.
No, I didn't say you. Well, you could do both, but you know what I
I
mean.
mean, I'm decent with perception.
I'm
Okay.
not good at doing two things at once.
Okay.
Are you looking for survival? What do you
Yeah,
want, John?
survival or nature checks or things like that. Like basically that you make sure you're going on the right route or the shortest route. You know, without maps, you're kind of because
Well, we do have
Caden
a
doesn't have a map of this as far as I know. So
No, he's currently drawing one.
yeah.
I'm making maps.
So I mean, I'm the intelligence-based one. I have nature.
Okay.
Or survival.
Either
I
one.
can do it.
Whichever one you want to do works for me.
Can I? So, this is considered an ability check. Yes.
Mhm.
Is that right? All right. So I would like to use knowledge from the past when I do this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll, and I get to roll a d6 and add the number on top of it.
Okay. Do you need to?
I'm going to because I declared it. So
Yeah, that's true.
26.
26. Wow. All right. So, okay. So, Islude, as you are preparing to kind of watch the roadside, kind of pay attention to directions and the sense of things, you're in the back of your mind, it almost seems like this is a familiar route, almost like you've taken it before, but you're not sure why. And because of that, you kind of realize very quickly that the road you need to be on, you kind of, let Ofelia know to turn at the right turn. And effectively, you end up following a river back towards a valley that you can see in the distance. And with that, you have made your check and away you went. So
As you're going down, there will be a river. I think you hang right when you're turning. Ofelia.
You've been here
I mean-
before.
Yeah. No. Have I been here before?
no,
No, I was
she's
saying that
asking
to
us to
Islude.
Islude.
I don't know why, but it feels like that's how we should go. It's
Oh,
almost
you're
as if-
telling me you want me to go there, not that I'm just automatically deciding on myself to do it.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No.
Okay. I mean, why?
I feel like I've maybe been here before.
We're gonna trust what you feel over what you know. I mean, okay, fair enough. We haven't got anyone else. Anyone else got a better idea?
No.
Nope.
Okay, we'll go.
Your answer has arrived. Nope.
I have a feeling this is going to be a bad idea, but we'll go.
All right, so you guys travel, and for the better part of a day, because I'm assuming you left early, you find yourself traveling through areas of what starts out to be fairly densely treed, but with roads that are fairly well cut and maintained, so travel is not too bad. Let's see. Kiko, can you give me a perception check, please?
Alright.
Okay, so as you're traveling, you're kind of keeping an eye on things around, making sure that somebody doesn't come out of the woods and kill a horse or something or try and rob you guys. And throughout the day, as you're traveling, you see a lot of like birds and small animals, but nothing that looks particularly bad. Or if there was, they peeled off as soon as they saw this crazy combination. So for the full duration of your travels this day, at least during the travel part of the day, it is relatively quiet, and you come and follow along a river's edge, which leads you up through into the foothills closer to the mountains. One of the things you'll start to notice as you get closer is the trees are starting to thin out, and in some cases are even looking dead. Almost like there's been an infestation, or sometimes how trees will look after a forest fire where they're just burned off of everything. But this is more like an infestation where the trees are there, but there's no leaves on them because they've died effectively. And the reason why I say it looks like an infestation is it's not one or two trees, it's a load of them. Yeah. And it is approaching nighttime.
I get a feeling we turned down the wrong bird.
I mean, just to be clear, you've gone the way, as far as you know, you're supposed to go, distance, direction-wise. So.
Okay. I admit I'm still not feeling super confident.
We should find somewhere to make a camp for the evening.
Okay, anywhere that you feel is safe. I'm assuming no one else is hearing this conversation because we're the ones on the outside driving. Or do they hear it too?
I mean, they might hear it, but, with the loudness of horse clomp, clomp, clomp and stuff, who knows?
I will shout it into the back for people to keep an eye open for a good campsite, or an adequate one at the very least.
Okay. If anybody wants to do a nature check, we can determine this as to a good campsite, or you can just randomly stop. It's up to you.
My nature's useless. It's probably not a good idea if I do that.
I mean, you can always roll it. You never know.
Well, why not?
Hey, 14 isn't bad.
Okay.
Anybody else want to try?
I will assist somebody.
7. Okay.
I'll assist Islud.
Okay. Okay.
23.
23. Very nice. All right. So looking around, you see an open area that looks flat. It looks like it's got some yellowed grass, and it isn't very rocky, so it looks like it's something that you could actually park your bums on and not, have a rough night's sleep necessarily. So
There's the person who doesn't have to sleep on it.
Mhm. So what you doing?
Well, I'm assuming Islud points that out.
Yep. There looks okay.
And I will point it to Ofelia, so we can pull the wagon over and start making a camp.
I do that.
Okay, so you pull the horses up. Are you going to let them roam a bit? Are you going to tie them up to a tree or something? Or are you going to leave them hooked to the wagons?
I'll unhook them, and I'll kind of walk them around if there's any type of grass or vegetation that seems like they could eat.
I mean, they'll generally eat the stuff around you guys. It's not very exciting, but they're not going to complain.
Right. So I'll walk them around for a little bit while camp's getting set up, and then I'll tie them off to one of the trees.
Okay. I mean, if you had to speak with animals, you would know that they're basically grousing about the type of stuff they're getting fed on their first day with these new people. But, since you don't, generally they're just horsings and they're doing horse things.
I would like to go and check for
Very
some
insightful.
Check for what?
check for some firewood.
Okay.
For a campfire.
All right. Fair amount of trees around. Some of the ones that are without leaves are dead, so it shouldn't be too hard to grab some kindling and some actual logs in relatively short order.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll bring them back. I'll set it up appropriately. and then I will throw a firebolt at it to light it.
Okay, and with that, poof, up it goes.
And then after that, I would grab the book that I have with all of my spells in them. I'll be flipping the pages, and I'll turn to the one I'm looking for, because I've been reading it to recall what I have, and I start to ritually cast Tiny Hut.
Okay, cool. So how big is that? I know it says tiny, but
10-foot radius.
Okay.
Mansion 5 bedrooms.
yeah,
No.
no.
No, that's a level 7 spell.
So basically, this is like a kind of a roundhouse type thing, basically. So it's a large kind of hut with
Like a
sleeping.
dome.
Yeah, it's a dome. It's sleeping space for pretty much everybody, I would argue. And nobody can get in that you don't want in.
Correct, and we can see outside of it.
Yep.
But I can make it. I'm gonna make it opaque so nobody can see in.
Fair enough. Okay. So, with all of that, is there anything anyone wants to do before you head to bed?
I'll thank the car for sitting with me, I guess, while I was driving.
Anytime. Thank you for teaching me.
Yeah.
I'd like to eventually learn enough so that way I can do it for everybody.
You just gotta not be directionally challenged to be able to hold on to some reins.
All right.
I believe in you.
I'm going to try to be stealthy about it, but while we're all like sitting at camp and getting ready, to lie down to sleep or whatever, the car is going to try to keep an eye out for if Ofelia fiddles with her locket again.
Okay. You want to do a...
I mean, I'll roll a stealth check, sure.
Okay. Well, I was thinking more along the lines of like a perception check.
Oh, sure, I can do that too.
Because
what time is it right now?
I mean, I'm assuming this is before you guys turned in, so this is like maybe between 8 to 10 o'clock at night. I don't know when you would
Okay,
go
so
to
I will
sleep.
say then probably, obviously you have to roll your perception check, but I'll probably say that I'm gonna sit outside for like 10-15 minutes. Probably go sit on like, I don't know, some sort of like rock or something nearby.
Okay.
And then play with the locket outside. Why are you shaking your head?
Because he
rolled an
rolled an 8.
Yeah.
So you basically
There's no
managed
idea
to
what I'm
sit.
doing then.
Yeah, you managed to sit looking away from him, so he can't really see without being super obvious. So yeah.
So make a decision. Do you want to be super obvious?
Yeah, you know what? I will. I'll just kind of slowly meander over.
I guess while she's like rubbing it through her fingers or something, she'll have it open and she'll clasp it shut when because she'll hear like, I assume she'll hear him coming.
I mean,
Based on the fact that he's making it obvious now.
Unless he wants to try and be stealthy, yeah.
No, I already said I was going to be obvious.
Okay.
About
Okay,
it.
so you
she'll
hear
clasp it shut then, and then like tuck it back into her shirt. Or into her dress, whatever she's wearing.
Excuse me, I don't want this to come off sounding rude. If it's none of my business, feel free to say so. But I was just curious. I know back at the tavern or the inn, we saw you fiddling with your locket thing, your necklace. Does it have special meaning to you?
She's gonna hesitate, obviously. Like she's quite nervous. She's hesitating for a little bit too long because she's definitely not searching for her questionnaire that she filled out with the backstory to remember a certain name that she needs from it.
Not at all. Nope. Nope.
And I can't find it. Oh, found it. Please bear with me.
Ow.
Okay. There's a piece missing from this, but it's fine. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, I guess she'll just say, yeah, it's important to me. It's complicated.
I understand. If you ever feel the need to talk, I'm quite a good listener. As far as advice or anything, that's hit or miss, I suppose. I'll do my best, but I make a good sounding board, if nothing else. I'll leave you to your locket and give you some space.
It's fine. It's fine. She'll say it's fine. She'll take the locket off and give it to him and let him look inside. You can tell by the way that she moves and the way that she's moving, she's very nervous about letting somebody do that. You can tell that she really trusts you. You can decide if you decide to open it or not, and then if you do, I'll tell you what's in it.
Yeah, I'll hold it in the palm of my hand, and I'll just use one of my fingers to gently open it open.
So you're gonna see a picture of, I guess it would be probably a painting or something, wouldn't it? Back then, of a little boy on one side, and on the other side it will be her and the little boy together inside, and yeah, that's what you see. You can tell that he looks like her, like enough to be a family member of some kind.
Zakara will smile, and he'll gently close the locket and just hold his hand back out towards you so you can take it.
She'll put it back on and tuck it inside again.
Is that a sibling or a child?
My son.
And he'll just smile at you. May I ask, if you're out here, where is he?
I haven't seen him in a really long time.
I see.
I was told that he died, but I don't trust that. It's a complicated story. But I don't trust that he's really dead.
I find, especially with parents and children, a mother's intuition usually trumps all else. So if you feel in your heart that he is still alive, then I'm sure he is, and I'll help you find him once we're done with what we're doing.
I wouldn't even know where to look, and that's mainly one of the reasons why I've been so willing to go places.
Well,
you never know what you can stumble upon.
We'll leave no stone unturned.
She's going to be clearly grateful that you care, but she's doubtful, obviously, because she's not had a nice time so far.
Zakara will just kind of just place a hand on her back and just pat slowly. Well, I'll leave you to your thoughts for a little longer, but you should probably get some rest.
Thank you.
And then he'll walk like 15 feet away and lean up against a rock or a tree or something and just kind of keep an eye out.
Eventually, after sitting for like 10 more minutes, we'll obviously go to bed.
Okay. All right. So did you guys go back into the tent? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go to bed.
Okay. You're the hut, I should say. Okay. So, all right. So I guess the one question I have is, are you guys gonna do watches or how
I
you
was
want to
just
do
gonna
this?
say, I'm going to, before everyone falls asleep, I'm going to ask Islud, excuse me, this magical dome that you've put up, how does it work, and how long does it last?
This will last for 8 hours. I cannot leave the dome or it will disappear. We can see out. Others, I've made it so that we would blend in to the surroundings, so no one can see us. We are essentially camouflaged.
Right? Do you truly feel safe solely inside of this structure, or should we maintain a watch?
I still believe the horses should be watched, since they are not here with us, and they are our mode of transportation.
And lastly, I know you had trouble on the ship, and you were counting boards. Do you sleep?
It's kind of like no, but it's like an intense concentration.
Okay. And does it require a normal amount of time that a person would rest to do this meditation of sorts?
I wouldn't call it meditation. I remember being really intently focused for about 4 hours every night on like the direct ceiling in front of me, just counting the boards, and then I would feel the need to move from then. Just my head or something. So yeah, around 4 hours.
If you don't mind keeping watch for 4 hours, then I'll keep watch for 2. And as long as Akiko or Caden or even Ofelia want to keep watch for an additional 2 hours, then everyone else should be able to rest.
I'll watch. I don't mind.
Would be happy to. Would you prefer your watches now and I finish out the evening where you all can just sleep all the way through?
Probably.
Very well.
So, Ophelia, if you're willing to watch, I'll allow you to take first watch, so that way you get uninterrupted sleep for the evening.
Okay.
And Zakara will take a 2-hour-long nap until his watch.
Okay. All right. Okay, with all that said and done, Ofelia, you begin your watch. I would like you to roll me a perception check, if you would, please.
Yep.
Question, John, since I'm not actually... Oh, wait, no, I am. I'm in that 4 hours meditation. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Perception check, you said?
Yes, please. Well, a 20 is pretty
I'm
good.
very perceptive.
You are very perceptive. That's good. The few hours you've kind of stayed up for, you get kind of a sense that there is movement around, but the occasional animal comes sniffing, but they can't get beyond the edge of your hut. So, you know, the smaller predators and things that might try and get in can't really do that. And they kind of wander off after a few minutes of frustration, and the bigger ones don't even bother. And the evening remains fairly quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else you want to do, you can switch with
No,
the next
that's
person.
fine.
All right, who's next? Sorry,
I am.
just trying to find something and it wasn't working. So, all right.
Perception check.
I would like a perception check. Yeah. Okay. Zakar is
And
rolling
I'm
well.
good. I'm decent. I'm decent at perception.
But not today.
Roll 20 just hates me today.
Yep. All right. So, to you, it's really quiet out. You don't notice anything. Not a thing. Nothing weird or untoward at all.
I will make it a point to physically exit the dome and go check on the horses
Okay.
that are tied up to a tree or whatever. Just kind of pat them, make sure they're okay, and then go back into the dome.
Okay. As you kind of look over them, they seem fine. Nothing too weird going on. Seems relatively quiet. They're sleeping the way horses do for the most part. And yeah, not much going on.
Then I will go back to the dome and I will just wait, and I'll just keep an eye on each person, and I will wait for Islud to come out of this concentration that he is in.
You would have seen him, and Ofelia would have also have seen him. Like he held the book out that he was reading. It's not his spell book, just one of the books they got from the library, and he was just staring at the same page for 4 hours.
I feel it would have just been like,
Slow reader.
And then out of nowhere, after the 4 hours up, it's just like he turns the page, like nothing, no time has elapsed essentially for him. Oh,
okay.
It happened, didn't it?
It did. Was that your concentration that you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, was I really still on this page?
Yeah, I thought it was either just really interesting or maybe you just didn't understand what you were reading.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it happened then because I read relatively quickly.
Well, are you okay to take watch then?
I am.
All right. It's been quiet and the horses seem fine so far, so.
Okay. Enjoy your sleep.
And he will move over. Is it just flat in this dome, or is there like any type of is there a rock that's like partially sticking into it or anything like that he could like prop himself up against?
I mean, as far as I know, I think wherever you bring it up is kind of where it is, right? Like
Right. I just didn't know what the terrain was like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, there wasn't like massive amounts of rocks or boulders or things that would cause sleeping issues. I'm sure if you had a rock that was on the edge that you really want to be inside, I don't think it's a big deal. So,
all right. Well, Zakara would just do his best to rest, but in like a sitting position, and close to Ofelia.
okay. All right. So, as you go to rest, it's now perception check time, Islud.
Yeah. Hopefully my curse for wizards and my perception don't come hurt me this time. I would say, before I roll this, just to get it out of the way, if I would notice anything, I'd be sending out dancing lights to 10 feet away from my body. I'd go to the edge of the dome and send them out in the direction I thought I heard something.
Okay.
So just to say it out loud before I roll.
All right. I mean, it's an 18. That's pretty good. Okay, so you are able to kind of keep your attention on the area You note sounds in the distance like wagons or creaking of wind in the trees and things of that nature, and kind of the general vicinity noises, but nothing really close and nothing very intense, I guess I would say. Just very normal evening noise. You do, however, in the distance, in the mountains, you can see occasionally, when you kind of squint that direction, different colors in the sky, but you're not real clear on what it is. You just notice that it could be anything from like the sun coming up or what it is, but you kind of get this sense of like a slight change and different sort of oranges and reds and blues and coppery colors kind of coming back and forth, and then it just kind of slowly disappears.
He'll mumble to himself really low. Very interesting.
Okay. All right. So the evening wears along to morning, and you all wake up after 8 hours refreshed. If you are down anything like spells or hit points or anything, which I doubt any of you would be, you get them back now. So what you up to this morning?
I'm gonna hitch the horses back up to the wagon.
Okay. All right. Horses are around. They whinny a little bit when you grab onto them, but other than that, they're pretty good. They line up pretty well. You get the impression that these are pretty well trained, which would be something that, you know, if you were in some towns, you might not be. But because your impression is because these were being saved for military purposes, they were giving them the best of the crop. So.
Okay.
So they join up together just fine. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a oopsie. Sorry, I just dropped something. Okay.
Is anyone hungry, or
I am hungry.
do we want to forage for food? Do we have rations we'd like to eat?
I mean, I have rations, but I'll help forage for food. Fresh food is always better than using up rations, I suppose.
Are you of a hunter variety, or does anyone?
No, not.
I see.
I'm a guard variety.
And you do very well with that, I might say.
I try. Oddly enough, I've lived my whole life pretty much in a large city, so nature stuff isn't my forte.
Oddly enough, I feel at peace out here.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, I'm willing to do it.
I mean, I can go see what game is available. Does anyone not eat meat? Or do we prefer vegetables? I'm not quite sure we established that for anyone.
The nasty meat that we ate on that airship has kind of put me off meat, to be honest. It
Okay.
was disgusting.
Yeah, it was kind of bland.
Bit salty.
Yeah, big gross.
Okay, we're looking for vegetarian options. Gotcha. Or it's very much berries or something. Zakar, would you prefer to stay here to guard, or will you come with me and we can leave them here to...
Perhaps you should take a Kiko or a Caden. I mean, guarding is what I do, and I wouldn't want somebody to come along and assault the rest of everybody and then potentially steal our cart. So
Works for me. He'll turn to Caden and Akiko. Do either of you wish to come? You don't have to.
I can help.
Wonderful.
Kiko is going. I'll stay here. I'm not really the outdoorsy type.
Bunch of urbanites out in the woods. Great.
whole lot of city slickers in this party.
And 100% confirm, not this time.
You boys like Mexico? Woo!
I see.
Whenever you're ready, Akiko, we can head out. Not quite sure if you need to do anything before
I
then.
just need to grab my stuff and I'm good.
Yeah, the one thing you notice with this, I should say, with the hut, is it kind of dissipates. So it goes that 8 hours. It's not like a pop. It's more like a slow disappearance. I mean, it isn't going to protect you after it starts to dissipate, but you at least get a second or two to sort of absorb that, oh, it's going away. I better get moving. So just FYI. Should that be important for any particular reason, just so you know. All right, so you two are going out foraging. Zakar is guarding. Caden is something.
He would just go sit in the wagon. He's
Dra-
already sketched this area, so
Not much
not
else
much for him to do.
to do.
Caden's really bloody useful, isn't he?
Well, I'm sure he will be when you need to find your way home. Okay. All right, then. The two of you gather together after having collected your things, and I assume begin to move. Are you going to go towards the river, or are you going to go like down the river to kind of look where are you thinking of going at this point, I guess would be my question before we start rolling dice.
Hearing that Ofelia was more towards berry, like the berry vegetarian options, that I would look to see the vegetation situation closer to trees.
Okay.
You said it was dead around here, right? So it's like kind of like a...
It's kind of a...
desolate.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed sort of bag of like, there are some live trees, there are some that, they have half leaves and a quarter leaves on them. Then there's others where they're just like skeleton frames of what were trees. So it's a bit of a mishmash. You'll note closer to the river that they're growing a lot. There's more actual healthy looking trees than say off in the groves, I guess, for lack of a better word, the forest.
He'll turn to Akiko. Perhaps by the river, where things don't look so dead.
Sounds alright with me.
Okay. Do you, as they're walking, he'll just strike up conversation. Or did you grow up in a city too, or are you more of a...
I was on a farm for a little while. So not quite city.
But you're familiar with not paved streets and such.
Yeah.
I can't place it. I think it has to do with the whole, resurrection thing. But this feels normal. Or at very least not nervous, if that makes any sense.
It's definitely a nice change of scenery, being out in nature.
Yeah, I agree. And I'd say we'll continue walking, I guess.
Okay, so as you guys are walking, I would say for your sake, Islut, you kind of, it does feel a bit more like at home. You're not fully sure why, but yet you do get that same sense of familiarity. Not that you know the area, because the area feels very different than what you're used to, but certainly what you consider to be your experience, whatever that experience was, it feels familiar. Walking out in nature and kind of away from the hustle and bustle of a major center. As you guys make your way towards the river and down, you'll eventually find a few berries, bushes along the way. You'll find things like root vegetables and stuff that are kind of growing wildly here and there. You get a little bit lucky on that front. If you want any sort of like fish or game, let me know and we'll roll for those. But yeah, I mean, after probably I'd say a couple of hours, you're going to have a pretty good haul of vegetation to use, like grasses and wild flowers for like seasoning and things like that. So
Do you think fish would be acceptable?
It wouldn't hurt to try.
I mean, I think you might be I have a dagger. The only thing for unless you want me to freeze them, that's all I can do from here.
you're the aficionado, Kiko.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I had to say that. That was so
I
there.
hear that.
I know you do. I'm sure Webby hates it too. Okay.
I mean, I can give fishing a shot.
Okay. So, give me a survival check, Akiko.
Okay.
Can I assist
Yep.
with that? And like, so if, for my assistance, as Akiko were to go, and I guess, are you? I guess you're gonna use your sword maybe to like stab into the water.
I
Or-
can either try the sword or claws.
Or you could make like
I
a
don't-
crude spear, javelin
Yeah.
type thing.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know how I would assist with that.
Well, I mean, you could be a spotter.
Yeah, you can point out the fish.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll have a mage hand ready to like hold one to like force it in something. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool. Sounds good. Kind of force it in the way to get slaughtered. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Akiko. So you roll, and we take the higher number.
You said survival?
Yes. Whew, boy, I didn't realize you had a 0 in survival. That's good to know. Much like your animal handling. Or no, your animal handling is 3. Maybe it's your nature I was looking at that was also 0. All right. So with the 14, you take a little bit to figure out kind of where in the river looks like a likely spot that you wouldn't drown trying to get there. You kind of find a small little rapids area and you kind of step into it. And with the help of Islud, you're able to spot a few fish swimming downstream, and you target them and you get 1 or 2 on a spear eventually. So, like I said, a couple hours to do all this, I would imagine would be a minimum. So breakfast is a bit delayed.
I mean, you did good. You caught them.
It's true.
Maybe next time we'll go a little easier.
Yes. Maybe next time it won't be fish, because
Yeah.
they're pretty quick. Plus, I don't know if anyone's actually going to eat them. It's just nice to have an option.
Mm. Should we start going back?
Yeah, let me. Before we go, because I assume you got out. We had already gathered. I will use prestidigitation and dry you off the part that had jumped into the water. There you go.
Thanks.
So it kind of feels like a blow dryer basically went over your fur. Poof.
Do you prefer a scent Do you like to smell like anything? At least I can offset the fluff.
I'm alright.
You're one of them fresh linen people, aren't you? Fine. Okay. And I'll pick up my share of whatever we are carrying and head back with them.
Okay, so you get back kind of around. I'm gonna say it's about 7. We'll say it's about 10 by the time you get back. And as you walk up to the remains of the campsite, the group sees you.
Hi. It's been an adventure.
We bring
Well,
food.
that was.
I did not realize that fish are a vegetable.
I will not. I will not turn down a fish.
I did not realize that you also are hard of seeing, Caden, because I have vegetables and berries here too. But that's okay. It was just an option. Didn't know what people wanted. Just kind of wanted to be considerate. And plus, Akiko got them because, skills. But anyway, let's.
I thought you were gonna say because she's a cat. I was gonna be like racist.
I was waiting for it too. I thought for sure.
Maybe in a different character, Rob. Not this one. Anyway, I guess we can the fruit, the veggies, and everything can go to. If there's anyone who want their fish cooked really quickly, he'll like snap a finger and fire will show in his hand.
Sure, that would be great.
Yes, please.
I'll gesture for Akiko to put it down where our fire was for the evening, and like stand ready to like
Firebolt these fish to fish fry.
Exactly.
Just put them down and step back.
Yep, I think I actually in one hand I think it's like firebolt, and the other hand's like prestidigitation to keep them from burning, and it's like a
Nice.
using the
Nice.
two together to like heat and cool and make sure that they don't do whatever, just to do a really quick sear over because we took so long gathering them.
Yeah, be a waste at this point, isn't it? All right, so y'all get that done, and y'all have your breakfast. And I assume you begin to pack up and get ready to move out for the day.
Yep.
As you do that, you'll hear off in the distance towards the mountains what sounds like you see dark clouds coming out, and you kind of hear wind kind of coming out from that direction, and it is blowing not at a gale but steadily. So same positions as before, or are you going to do something different, or?
No, same as before. I want to learn how to drive the cart.
Okay.
But I need a good teacher.
All right.
I guess that's been decided for me.
Yep, pretty much. I don't know if we want to bother.
Unless you want me to try.
No, I think it's okay.
All
I'll
right.
do it.
Okay, so roll me another animal handling check, please, Ophelia. Wow.
Jesus.
Two
We're good.
crits. 2 crits.
I'm the best teacher in the world.
Oh,
I need
man.
help from them, man.
Wow. That's amazing. Cool. All right. Out of curiosity, Zakara, roll me an animal handling check. We'll see how this goes.
Do I have advantage because I've been
I'm not
learning?
gonna let him take over temporarily. You take the reins, just throw him at him, and then we crash.
You take the reins. I mean, it's a little rough going for a bit, but you're kind of getting the hang of it as you kind of go along. So you feel like you're confident that you can kind of, Ofelia is a pretty good teacher, it seems.
I'm great at everything, apparently.
Awesome. All
When
right.
Zakara is driving the cart, he's just gonna keep looking over at Ofelia, and he has that like nervous but prideful look, like, "Hey, I'm doing it."
There's probably going to be a point in which you like start swaying over, like when you're learning to drive with your parents, and they reach up and grab the wheel and turn it because they're like, because you're going to crash off the side of the road. And they're like, and you freak out. Yeah, but we want to be those one moments where she grabs the rein and pulls it because you're like swaying off the side too much.
So, all right. So you guys continue forward. You'll find again as the day wears along, the wind in the face can get a little rough. It's not a very pleasant journey as compared to the day before. We're seeing more and more of the dead trees in the distance, and you're starting to notice that the dirt, which was a soft brown, kind of in some areas, sort of that rich brown that you get where things are really good at growing, to this sort of darker, blacker, almost like it's got bits of coal in it level of dirt. And it's much more coarse, and there's a lot more rocks in the road and items kind of clogging things up. So it's not as easy of a ride. It's not as gentle, but you generally continue forward. And as you do, you reach kind of the valley that leads towards the area, and we'll move to the map here in a second so you guys can kind of see what we're looking at. Because I've just shown the players kind of the terrain they're dealing with. So, and the other thing I will say is things start to take a little bit longer because of that. Like the trip that was shorter feeling yesterday gets much longer today. And okay. All right. Oh, there's a little black spot in the middle for no reason. So yeah, let me sort that out. Oh, that did the other way around. Swear to Beezus, I picked that right, and then it doesn't. Okay. So this is kind of the approach that you are coming to, and it's, like I said, there's a small river. The river that was bigger earlier in the day has gotten smaller. The growth beside it is becoming more mossy and kind of sparse. The trees are sort of becoming less and less attractive, more and more kind of worn and broken and without leaves, or not as many leaves as before. So yeah, so that's kind of how things look at the minute as you roll up into this neighborhood.
Which direction are we coming from?
Okay, hang on. Is it that way? Nope, that doesn't move y'all. Okay, I guess from that neighborhood. So from
Up in the upper right.
Yeah, the upper right. So if you want to put your all there, I don't have a wagon. I mean, if you want me to find one, I could, but it might be just as easy to just put yourselves there. We'll just say your horses are there for the benefit of the viewers at home.
I don't remember how.
Just under your...
Oh.
There you go. There we go. Everybody's there. Hooray. All right.
No, we're not all incompetent.
Well, you know. Has to happen sometime, right?
The closer we approach this Tepe Kaliseh, the less I like it. Looks like some kind of corruption.
If it means anything, last night while you all slept, there was colors in the night sky coming from this direction. Don't know if it means anything.
You notice some very strange things, don't you?
I think it happens when you don't sleep.
Very unique man.
I would agree. Even weird, maybe. It's weird.
So, Caden, remind me again. We're coming out here for what purpose? I know this is for you.
We're trying to prevent a war if possible.
So we're here to meet with somebody.
We're here
Or
to
we're-
investigate what's going on in the city. The those that have been sent from Malak Bolton have either not returned or have come back with their minds altered. And the city prepares for war, which will be bad for everyone. There's a way we can stop it before it happens. I'd prefer to do that, if not at least figuring out what's going on and reporting back to the library.
Do you think it might have anything to do with this affliction on the forest?
It could. I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I'm going. Well, we are going, I suppose, now. To figure out what's happening there. This could be part of whatever it is. Fortunately, I've never been there before, so I don't know if this is what the terrain always looked like, but kind of glances around. I have a feeling it was not.
All right. Onward and upward.
Okay, so as you travel, this continued areas, this appearance is sort of what becomes the familiar look of the place. You see as you look up the mountain, it looks even more desolate and even less vegetation appears. You see the water coming off of a waterfall down at the just above the base of one of the mountains is the source of this river. And as the day wears along and the wind kind of starts to die down, I would like whomever you want to nominate to give me a perception check.
I mean, I'll vote not me because my rolls have been abysmal. But I do have a decent perception.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so far, Ofelia has she rolled lower than? Oh yeah, she rolled a 14. But
I mean, I can do it if you want.
all day she's been rolling well. So has Islud, to be
All
fair.
you.
What are you asking for? Perception?
Yes, please.
I'll do it. Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Okay. So with the 14, I'd like you to roll me a d10, please. 1. Very nice. Okay. So
It doesn't seem like it's very nice.
as you roll up to the bank of sort of in the middle here, let me just point out where it is. Oh, let's get the pointy finger going because that's the one we need. So right there, you start to see what looks like a camp on the other side of the river, just down a little bit from where you're at.
Okay, you said we make it to that point?
Yep.
In the middle?
Uh-huh.
Yoink.
and you can see what looks to be a small pit fire and a small tent, sort of like a pup tent, like a two-man tent, kind of sitting amongst the dead trees.
Mm.
Does something unnerve you?
Somebody has made camp here. Not that that necessarily is a bad thing, but I just tend to be more on guard with people I don't know, especially traveling.
Makes sense.
Perhaps, I guess we could all discuss, should we just continue trying to travel by and leave them be, or should we make our presence known to them?
We're here before we got here. Perhaps we could just go past. They're not our primary concern. As he looks at Caden.
Caden will just shake his head and say, I see no reason to disturb them if we have no reason to.
Very well.
Okay. All right. So you guys migrate continually down the river away from the tent. Okay. As you do so, and as you kind of get to where like across from the tent, I assume you're basically going to go away from it, but on this side of the river, correct?
We can't see where you're pointing. If you were pointing anywhere.
I wasn't pointing anywhere. I was just saying you're going to go that way kind of thing.
I mean, we're gonna just continue heading in the direction that we can. If we can stay on this side of the river, we might as well. There's no sense in crossing.
Okay. All right. So as you move down and you kind of move past where this camp is, I would like you all to roll perception checks for me.
This game hates me.
I mean, a
Yeah, it's
15's not
hard.
bad.
Just a bit oblivious. Bit of blurry sunlight in my eyes, you know?
I
Wait till
mean-
you see what my rolls are with perception.
Just wait till you see. 22 per.
Webby can confirm my other wizard doesn't see anything. Oblivious. This one apparently sees everything.
Mm-hmm. Oof, Caden. Now, Caden doesn't see anything. Right.
Caden doesn't care. He's sketching maps up the.
I mean, it's
so I have
true.
him in the back. He's sitting out the back of the wagon, just sketching maps.
Okay. Zakara, do you want to do a perception check? Oh, you did a perception check. I just
I
missed
did.
it.
I got
There we
14.
go. Yep. All right. So Akiko and Islud hear something moving in the trees, and when you look up, you see a elf sitting on one of the branches with her bow drawn, and she looks down at you all and says, "Who are you and why are you here?"
Maybe we all hear that.
I mean, she didn't say it so quietly you couldn't, so yeah. I mean, I'm assuming all y'all are over here, basically.
Yeah.
Once I noticed her, my hand extends out like I'm prepping for something.
Okay. Right.
We're traveling through on business for one of our traveling companions, heading towards the city.
Tepe. Is that where you're headed?
I believe so, yes. Caden, is that correct?
Yep. Tepe Kaliseh.
She
Trying to
leaps.
prevent war. Well,
Mm. She leaps down from the tree. She lowers her bow. She says, kind of quietly, "How many of you speak Elven? Is it everybody?"
fuck no. Oh,
No.
wow.
Okay.
I think we. I guess I need you to tell me. Because I know Sylvan. Does that mean I automatically know Elven, or are they very different?
I think they're
They're
different.
different.
Yeah, Sylvan is more like Fey-oriented creatures. If I'm correct. So Caden
I
knows
thought so, too.
Elvish. Anybody else speak Elvish other than
Well,
Obvious-
I should
obviously
imagine
you.
I probably do.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ophelia and Caden at the moment?
Yeah, no, I speak Common and Minotaur.
I mean, that's fine. Kiko, do you speak Elvish at all?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you two will hear her say to Ophelia, "Northern sister, who do you follow?"
Bums. I do know. We've written it down, but I don't remember.
Well, you can look at your notes. It's no problem.
Okay. Give me a sec. I won't say bums to hair.
No. I got that was more like a whoops.
I feel like you told me this, but I don't think I wrote it in this notes. I think I wrote it somewhere else, and I don't really remember where. I feel a bit stupid now.
Imagine Ophelia saying that, then the elf gets close and whispers, "Northern sister, who do you follow?" Bums! I don't remember.
It's in here somewhere. Isn't it? Isn't it? You asked me when we set this up. You said I
Mhm.
had to, didn't you? I remember you saying I
Mhm.
had to follow someone.
Yep. Let me know when you want me to give it to you.
Oh, you know already.
Oh yeah, of course I know. Why would I not know
Oh,
that?
good. But then why am I looking? Just tell
Because
me.
I want you to find it. It was your god,
No,
not mine.
I'm looking through my notes, but I don't think I wrote it down.
It's Lehuni, by the way, the bringer of light.
How do you spell that?
Lehuini.
Is my god. Okay, I'll write that down. Okay, I'll tell him then. Lehuni.
Okay. She nods and says, "May her blessings be with you. Be
Thanks,
careful
love.
as you go to the east or the west, because the group there is a mixed bag."
Hang on a minute. Who do you follow?
I follow the
Bums.
bums. I follow Danu,
Okay.
as do all our people.
Okay. Thank you, I guess.
She says, "Go carefully. I have heard that there are larger creatures in this forest, and strange things have come about because of them. At least one group of scouts I was with gave rumor of an attack on one of the soldiers from Malik Botan.
Okay. Thanks, I guess.
She
For the
nods.
information.
She then
Be
starts speaking in common, and she says, "May the blessings of Danu be upon all of you. Safe travels. If you have any need of assistance, if you have any ability to send up a light, I will, or my fellow scouts will come to you."
Thank you.
She nods at that, and basically you watch her go invisible and disappear.
Okay.
Unless anybody does anything, says anything, or wants to say anything. I should ask that before that happens.
No, I'm assuming that entire interaction, the only words that even possibly were understood by Zakara were the gods' names and the one town or the city. Everything else was in Elvish.
I mean, and even the gods' names might be questionable. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, all right.
But because they have different pronunciations depending on where
Gotcha.
you're at, right? So
Well, I'll just look at Ofelia and I'll say, what was that all about? Are we safe to proceed?
She told us to be careful, basically.
Oh,
She said there's some funky stuff going on, but we cannot allow it to derail us. We have a job to do.
onward and upward.
even if we're leading ourselves into our death. But I'm sure it's fine.
I will do my best to not allow that to happen to any of you.
We'll see. Let's go.
okay.
27 white dragons descend.
Death comes from the sky.
Everybody,
the,
hide
uh,
behind the Minotaur.
As we start to travel again, Caden will look curiously at Ophelia and say, in Elvish, "You're cleric of Lyuni."
And
Shakes his head. It's just peculiar, that's all.
peculiar why.
Lyuni is the golden dragon.
And
You don't seem particularly. He kind of does that thing where he indicates your whole self, dragonish.
why is that?
He shrugs.
This seems like a very pointless conversation.
He speaks to you in Draconic. Do you understand Draconic?
I don't think so.
No.
So after you kind of look blankly at him, he just says, "Yeah, that's my point," and he'll turn back and look at the back.
So just out of character here, should I have understood any of that interaction?
You would have. Okay, so to be clear, give me a religion check.
By the way, I can speak Abyssal. I don't know why, but apparently I can.
Out of character, I'm guessing he was just pretty much meaning you're a non-dragon following a dragon god.
Basically, yeah. But to give you further details, in other, so what you know about the Bringer of Light, or Lehuni, as we call her, she is a moon goddess who is often associated with the golden dragon, or in some cases is imaged as a golden dragon. But to the to most elves, she's known as the moon goddess, and she wears a choker which has 3 gems on it, representing her children, which are the moons: Armazon, Kilakan, and Rotar. And
Sounds like a teenager trying to speak Spanish.
okay. And each of them have a role to play in Elven religious understanding, where one is related to the harvest and to spring, another one is related to and is the patron of rangers, and the other one is kind of seen as wandering the sky at all times and is the one that is seen as the change bringer, because it can on occasion of considered to be deep omen turn a different shade that most elves fear, because it was the changing of the color of that particular moon that was the sign that humanity arrived on the continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Like you would know that most people would talk of her as the goddess of light or the goddess of the moons. Like knowing her as the golden dragon exclusively is more like a not like fringe, but like not usual. I guess I would say.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's not unusual in that I've done a boo-boo when creating my character, right?
no.
No.
Okay. Well, having gained nothing from that interaction, I will then insult Caden in Celestial.
What do you
Okay.
say? Because I speak Celestial.
Exactly. I didn't. I insult him in Celestial, not knowing he speaks it too. But I don't know, probably something like dumbass or something, like the equivalent of that, whatever that would be.
Kara just exhales through his nostrils like a horse, kind of. Just everybody speaking all these languages that he doesn't know.
Nice.
It's all right, buddy. I don't understand them either.
All right.
Caden just goes back to drawing now, but he's muttering insults and Kiori. He knows nobody speaks that for sure.
Just that
Uh,
muttering and insult
Oh,
back at
do
in
you
Abyssal.
now?
Yeah.
You're
I
not
just
wrong.
start saying stuff in Abyssal now.
All right.
You're gonna make me take tongues, aren't you?
Wizards knowing languages, right? Religious users, I guess. Clerics knowing languages. Alrighty. So with that, we're going to take our break. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please do so here. If you'd like to see what we've done in the past, please check it out up here. And if you'd like to check out all of our content, you can do so at distractionsmedia.com.